Yo, what's poppin' everyone? Welcome back to the channel. AtlasTCG here. Today we are going to be going over a new card reveal, Buddy Poffin, and I don't know. I'm just like, let's skip the intro, let's skip all that stuff, let's dive into Buddy Poffin, because it's a card that I think is really exciting coming out in our new sets, Temporal Forces. I do want to give a shout out to justinbasil.com for providing the translations. I always check out their website as a competitive player and a content creator, so give them a check out. Shout out to them. They are sick. They also have proxies available if you ever want to test that stuff. Buddy Poffin, unless you could read Japanese, I mean, the card looks like it's delicious, by the way. Search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less and put them onto your bench. Then shuffle your deck. So we have kind of a spiritual reprint, kind of Battle VIP Pass. And I think that's something that's really cool because Battle VIP Pass is a widely played card in our format. It's kind of expensive. It's kind of really good when you're able to play it, but it has the drawback of being only played on your first turn of the game. So if you don't get Battle VIP Pass on your first turn, your deck is actually going to be a little bit less consistent. So you want to kind of thin out those Battle VIP Passes by discarding them with Ultra Ball or whatever. Whereas in this card, you can just search your deck at any turn for Pokemon with 70 HP or less. So while Battle VIP Pass can grab Tina V's, Rotom V's, whatever you want to grab, this can grab Pokemon with 70 HP or less. What does that mean for us in competitive play when the set comes out? Well, first and foremost, we have a viable option to search out Pokemon. And I mean, I think we were looking at things like Nest Ball, we're looking at Ultra Ball. I've even seen some content creators go as far to play Great Ball, a card that we wouldn't really consider touching in this format because we got to make space for Battle VIP Pass. But we do have opportunities where I think that we might want to look at adding this card into our decks. What kind of decks would we add this into? Well, off the top of my head, I don't know if I would add it into a Tina V-Star deck, and I'm not sure entirely what goes past rotation or not. I think Tina V-Star is relatively unscathed. I mean, it doesn't play Path, but for example, let's take Charizard, a relatively new deck where we could search out Charmanders and Pidgeys throughout the game, and I mean, that's largely what we're trying to just search out. So when Charizard loses Battle VIP Pass, we can relatively cut those for Buddy Poffin. We might not necessarily go for the same Rotom engine, and that might be a card that we end up cutting, but we have Buddy Poffin that's going to be able to search out some of our Pokemon. There's some other Pokemon that we might want to just search out, like Ralts in a Gardevoir deck, or, I mean, any Stage 2 evolution or even a Stage 1 evolution deck is probably going to end up playing Buddy Poffin. So this is a step in the right direction because in a world where we look at some of these newer cards that we're getting in Temporal Forces, like Raging Bolts, we have these big basics. Big basics has largely been something that is kind of plagued the game. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love cards like this. I've seen success cards with these. I got a trophy case there that shout out Big Basics, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where Pokemon is a fun game when we have evolutions because it allows us to be different than other card games, and games can be a little bit less aggressive if you're playing like setting up a Meowscarada deck instead of going turn 1 attack, right? I think we've all seen it where Roaring Moon or Miraidon knock us out on the first turn, and we're like, that's really cool. I really appreciate that, y'all. So you can see that this set has a lot of big basic Pokemon, Walking Wake, Gouging Fire, Iron Leaves, and when we get to some of these cards like Buddy Poffin might allow us to build up that Stage 2 EX deck that might not be Charizard or Gardevoir. Literally the only 2 viable ones right now, with Pidgeot being a viable tech card in some decks. Buddy Poffin's going to allow us to see an amount of success with those decks to make sure that they're able to set up. And those are the types of decks that might come back with these comeback mechanics that we have, where it's like we have the comeback mechanic of Prime Catcher, where we might be able to have a big attack in the late game and switch one of our opponent's Pokemon up, or maybe we play a Roxanne with that combination, or we have some things that we might want to be able to do. So it allows us to have a more diverse format than just being like, hey, if you don't play big attacking Pokemon like Raging Bolt, Miraidon, Roaring Moon, or maybe you're trying to play some kind of, I don't know, whatever other deck is coming out here, Iron Crown, Future Box deck, or like, I mean, there's a bunch of like things like Gouging Fire could be good, Iron Leaves could be good. Like, there's a lot of cards that have been revealed from the set that seem kind of bonkers. We now have something that allows us to compete. It allows us to kind of survive the rotation a little bit. And I think this card's actually really good for the game. At least right now on first glance. I mean, things could change in a year from now where I'm like, hey, I've played in my 5th regionals and I freaking hate that Buddy Poffin, man. I hate the, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sure. And that's where, like, I think that Buddy Poffin right now, being able to search your basic Pokemon, being able to play it every turn of the game, not just on your first turn, makes the game open to, it makes things fair. One of the reasons why a lot of decks like Charizard want to go second is because they want to play Arven to search for Battle VIP Pass, because they're able to fetch Battle VIP Pass out of their deck, play this very strong item card that is broken on the first turn of the game, and they're able to set up. And in this case, your opponent could now play Buddy Poffin on the first turn of the game, or if they don't get it on the first turn, at least they can play it on the second turn, so their starts aren't going to be as weighted, which means that the coin flip might not be as weighted when it comes to playing Pokemon. We've all had those things where we're like, hey, we really want to go first, or we really want to go second, and we have a whole day where our opponent gets to choose what they want to go. And that's one of those things. So I think Buddy Poffin takes some luck out of the game by not just randomly hitting multiple Battle VIP Pass, or just hitting a Battle VIP Pass on your first turn, which is definitely going to increase your win rate. Whereas now we have Buddy Poffin that we can kind of even that out over an entire game of Pokemon. Obviously going to be a little bit better towards the beginning of the game, but as long as we have Pokemon to search out, Buddy Poffin's going to see some success. Even my dog's excited about the Buddy Poffin, if you could hear her in the background. I just think that Buddy Poffin has some options here. And this card could really change the way that we're playing the game, making it more skill-based in the future, making games more, a little bit more, you have a chance more, right? You just don't want to be sitting across like the best player in the room, they get double Battle VIP Pass like they always do, and then you're like, cool, I went pass and lost. This gives you more opportunities to have it on turn 2, turn 3. Search out your Pokemon. Searching out more Pokemon and getting more Pokemon evolved is going to be a metric that's going to work well in your favor if you're playing those kinds of decks. So, shout out Buddy Poffin. I know it's a little bit of different content, maybe a little bit of news content, but I truly think that Buddy Poffin's going to change the game going forward. Hopefully we see some more cool cards coming out in Temporal Forces. This set's coming out in March or April. I think it's March. So probably going to be legal for EUIC at first glance. Probably going to be legal with our rotation as well. So stay tuned for all that great stuff. I mean, as you're trying to pick up these cards or you're going to see pre-orders, check out our sponsors at deckoutgaming.ca, AtlasTCG.com, and kayfabecards.com. Check them all out, and check out the description for all those links. Sometimes I just blab on and get names wrong or something. So shout out to our sponsors, love them, and hopefully you all have a great one. If you want to get some more content, I'm sure someone on Shuffle Squad, even maybe myself, is going to write some detailed articles about these upcoming cards. So tune in for those on our Patreon at patreon.com/TSSWin. That being said, I will catch up with all y'all later. Peace out and have a great one. Want to support the Shuffle Squad? Be sure to check out all of our sponsors in the description to pick up Pokemon TCG singles, sealed, and PTCG live codes. Hey trainers, tired of having too many cards lying around? I know that feeling, and I know what a hassle it is to try and sell those cards. But selling bulk is now easier than ever with TCG Bulk. Find tons of potential buyers in a single place. You just download the app, look for the best buyer near you, and carefully pack your bulk, ship it, and you get paid. It really is that simple. Turn the cards you don't want into the cards you absolutely need for your next deck. You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching this entire video from the Shuffle Squad. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate each and every person that supports our content, watches what we have going on every single day, every single week, even from time to time, and continuously allows us to have a forum to project our creative content towards the Pokemon TCG community. So if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and even leave a comment to help boost the YouTube algorithm. That being said, we'll catch you with our next video. Thanks again. Take it easy.